The latest instalment in one of world football's greatest rivalries, and Liverpool arrive at Anfield knowing they've not lost a home derby in front of a crowd this century. Another 3 points this afternoon would take the Reds top of the Premier League for a couple of hours at least. Well, that is the journey, and this is the game. It is the 243rd Merseyside derby. Liverpool against Everton. It is a 12:30 kickoff. A very good afternoon to you. Welcome along to Matchday Live in the company of two men who have tasted derby delight over the years. Charlie Adam, and a veteran of 16 as a player and countless more as a coach as well, Phil Thompson. It is a huge day for the people who come, for the players and for the great city of Liverpool as well, this one.
Yeah, because you feel the excitement all week. Everybody's looking forward to it. Even the Evertonians you're chatting to, they feel a little bit confident, but it's like that. Derby day is wonderful, isn't it? Does it make me nervous?
If you win.
Of course it makes me nervous. But it is just wonderful at the same time. So yes, it is, and you can see the people who come. This is still one of the mega fixtures in the campaign, and rightly so.
You say that it makes you nervous. Do you think, as a player, you felt it more because this is your city?
Without a doubt, being a local lad, you know, because you'd been a fan, you'd done everything, you'd stood on the terraces, so you knew what it meant. So going out there, and we were quite lucky at the time because we had quite a few local lads. You know, Jimmy Case, Terry Mack, Sammy Lee, Davy Fairclough, so there was quite a few, so you were all in it. And it's important, the local lads, because you make that in that dressing room, you could go round because you know what it means for the people who support this football club. So the other lads are hitting off that. They're all ready and they're all geared up. Then as assistant manager, I was a raving lunatic all week. But I calmed down. I'd be in there after we played on a Saturday or it's 5 days to go. And the lads of Tomo, let us rest. Then it's 4 days to go. Yeah. So then it got a bit calmer as we got towards the day. But it's a huge day in every Liverpool fan's life.
So for you, Charlie, Tomo talks about the importance of the local lads. What were the roles of people like Steven Gerrard and Jamie Carragher building up to a derby?
Well, you'd see there was excitement and enjoyment. It means everything if you're a local lad and you play somebody like myself from the outside coming into it. We have to win. You know, this is a derby. You have to win football matches. You have to win a derby match. And they're the games you look for in the calendar. When the fixtures come out for Liverpool, it's Manchester United, Everton. Wednesday games. That's how quick they come in the season. And that's what you look for. And like Cara and Stevie would be, you know, they'd let us know a little bit more about the derby, and it'd be a big game. But if I was an Everton fan, I would not be confident coming here. Not won back-to-back games since 2021. Not won here in 28 games, one defeat in 28.
And that was in front of no one.
So you come here confident, but ultimately it's a derby, so anything could change in a derby match. You know, form goes out the window a little bit. But
does it though? We always say form goes out.
I'm only saying that in an
Everton's record
game
is so bad here that
yes, so
therefore form and Liverpool being the better team with the better players.
In this derby, I don't think so, but in an Old Firm derby, because the two teams are quite similar in the quality and the standard of both teams were there in Old Firm. This is different. Liverpool are at a good level, started the season well, an opportunity to go top of the league, but in the back of the minds of these Liverpool supporters, you know, it's a derby, and if you lose that, it's a tough Saturday.
Fear of losing.
Yeah, that's the fear.
Liverpool fans.
Yes.
It's not that joy of winning.
No, it's the fear of losing.
It's the fear of losing because we've gone, as you just said, on that streak. So that's where it's on. But that helps, particularly as a player, because you don't want to be one of those teams. Particularly, we'll always remember, and the Evertonians are still the Ancelotti game. You know, when he beat us 2-0. Thankfully, there was nobody in the stadium. And it was, and so they relish that. But I think the importance to Liverpool, don't let it happen again. We've got to be ready for it. And just to contradict you, Charlie, when you look for the fixtures when they come out, it's Everton and then Manchester United. Not Manchester United and Everton. It's the derby game.
It's everything. It is everything.
But, no, listen, I get it. Because, like, the Irish contingent, who there's thousands, the Norwegians, the Scandinavians, they are in the thousands. The Man United game's bigger for them.
Yeah.
But when you're local, this is the one that matters.
We've asked the boys both to pick out some of their favourite Merseyside derby memories from over the years. Interestingly, both have gone for games at Goodison Park. Your only game came at Goodison, a 2-0 victory for Liverpool. Must be so sweet walking away, having been abused for 90 minutes at Goodison with 3 points at the end of it.
It was brilliant. It was an unbelievable game, and the atmosphere, you know, you could feel the tension. It was a big game. I actually hit the crossbar in this game. Hopefully they got the clip, but yeah, it was a great game, good win, and I was here the day Stevie scored a hat-trick as well. I was on the bench when Stevie scored a hat-trick here at Anfield. So, no, the derby games, like Phil said, these are special moments, and you can beat your local rivals and go away from home and do that. It's always a special feeling.
I think we always tend to associate derby games with being quite tense and cagey, Tomo. Not often you go to Goodison Park and score 5.
Yeah, and as the cop always sing, you know, Rush scored 1, 2, 3, 4 goals. So it was a huge game. I think Glenn Keeley played for them, got sent off.
He did.
But I think Kenny had already had 2 chances. But we absolutely ripped them apart. And I always go back in the 60s when Everton beat us 4-0, and they're always rankled with us. So to go there and beat them 5-0, and we were unbelievable. Yes, they may have played sort of 3/4 of the game with only 10 men, but we were supreme. And there was always the question, who scored the other goal? Which was Lotto. Lotto was in midfield that day.
I know the answer because he's told me enough times.
Oh, yeah.
When you scored in a derby, you let everybody know.
Absolutely. I wanted to read you a quote as well, Tomo, from Ian Rush, who said, I remember walking off the coach, going into the dressing room, and Bob Paisley said to me, do you know no one scored a hat-trick in the Merseyside derby in 50 years? So that obviously got the great man going to get not 3 but 4 that day.
Do you know what? Like, Rushy was incredible. How many goals he scored against Everton, I don't. But, you know, they always travelled in with Kevin Ratcliffe to training. They would pick each other up and drive in. So imagine Kevin Ratcliffe, Ian Rush was the scourge of rats. And he were the best mates. Brilliant. So you can imagine, they probably didn't speak every day going into training.
It was interesting as well when you said, Charlie, when you score in a derby, you tell everyone about it. And Rushy's record obviously fantastic, but someone like Divock Origi, a cult hero, because he used to sort of come out of his cryogenic chamber and turn it on against Everton every time there was a match.
And you get that, and that's sometimes as a manager, you know that player's got a special feeling for that match, and Origi was one of them. He could score late goals, score winners, and that's why if you score in the big games, you become a hero, and that's ultimately, and I'm not saying I might have changed my Liverpool career, but if you score in the derby, you know, all of a sudden things might change for your confidence or something. It's a big game to score in, and yeah, you never know what happened. But you know, it's Ronnie
Rosenthal going through here, inside left position, rattle it in last minute.
Everybody remembers you scoring derby matches.
Without a doubt.
Talking of last minute goals in derbies, another of your great memories comes as a coach, and Gary McAllister. Liverpool had twice been in front in that game, twice pegged back by Everton, before Gary McAllister, urged on by a very vociferous Phil Thompson.
On that touchline, I don't know how you got that clip, but it was incredible. And Gary was such a clever player, and we needed these games to get into Champions League, which there was only 3 of us then.
Is that Sammy?
That's Sammy. I don't know how he's got over there. It's quite astonishing. But Gary's gone like that. We're down to 10 men. Gary's got down. What people don't realise, Gary's moved that ball forward about 10 yards from where the incident, who got fouled. And I remember seeing the guy in the Champions League final against Spurs, watching the train the day before, and it was Gregory Vignal. And I said, do you know what you're famous for? I shouldn't have said it like, and he went, what? You're the one who won the free kick when Gary McAllister said, oh, thanks very much. That's all I'm famous for. But Gary sends everybody, and I think it's Paul Gerrard. You can see him edging across. And Gary's going like that to big Sammy Hoopier and everybody, and then put it in the bottom corner. Great moments, fantastic, because he kept our run going.
Everton then, how do they approach it? Because, as we've spoken about it, Liverpool have the better players, and we sort of know what Sean Dyche is like as an operator as well. Is it just come here, man the pumps, and try and be really frustrating to Liverpool?
Yep. Take the clock down, buy fouls, get up the pitch. I think Calvert-Lewin being fit is a big one for them. If he's fit and available, he's the one that can give them the outball. Harrison's a good player as well, can dribble. So Liverpool have to be aware of that counter-attack. But you know what Sean's going to be: organised, well disciplined, crosses in the box, set plays. Liverpool need to defend set plays better today than they have, and if they do that, then it'll give them the platform to win this football match. But you know, Everton fans, the staff will be here. We're not here to play pretty. We're not here to make it look good for Liverpool. We're here to make it hard, difficult, get in the face, and make it a difficult game. Try and use, you know, that disappointment they've had over the last few years of a derby match. Can we use it here? It's after international breaks. A lot of Liverpool players are flown away. Can they come back? Are they ready for this? So you've got to use these small things to try and get your players to believe you can win the match.
I think you'll find any set plays in our half, both centre-backs will come up. You'll have the Corey in the box. You'll have Anana in the box. They will make life really tough because they'll prey on that. Because they, you know what Sean's like. Sean will be the small margins. We get any chances like that, ruffle them up, get in amongst them, and they will just absolutely just pump the ball in the box. It'll be a sharing ball, and they will clatter us. So you have to be prepared in that dressing room.
And maybe that's why he's gone with Konate. You know, it's possible. You know,
I put him in my team, and that was one of the reasons I won. Because Joel's good in the air, but Konate's aggressive in the air, and I think that's the difference.
Yeah, we'll bring you full team news in just a moment, but just to reference what the guy said, Ibrahima Konate, Kostas Tsimikas, Ryan Gravenberch and Diogo Jota all come into the Liverpool team today from the one that started against Brighton. To talk about physicality, is that how the derby's changed? Because you think about old chats in dressing rooms. Oh, good morning, good to hear from you. You know, whack into them early, win that midfield battle, whereas, you know, the way the game is changing with refereeing, you can't afford to sort of clatter into tackles too much.
No, but I think you can to get this crowd lifted early. I think a tackle early, you know, sets the tone for the match. Ultimately, you want your team, and Liverpool will need these supporters to lift them. And if it's a nice early tackle from a Konate or a Van Dijk, then absolutely. And you know, you need to get the crowd lifted, and that's what gets it going.
See, one of the things, Gerard Houllier had a great thing to the players before the game. He said, ice in the brain, fire in the belly. And he said like that, so in other words, keep calm. Be ready and be aggressive and all that, but don't let yourself... The number of Everton players that got sent off against us must have been, throughout my time with Gerard, probably about 4 of their players had all got, because they lost their head.
Yeah.
So it's one thing competing, but because of the referees, you've got to be very, very cautious.
I'm sure you can hear the PA. I think if you're at Goodison Park, you can probably hear the PA as well. It is a good time to go and get the full team news from Peter McDowell.
Thank you, guys. Definitely a different feel about this today. Certainly a tangible tension here in the tunnel. I'm not sure whether that's a 12:30 kick-off, but everything feels different, doesn't it? From your first pre-match pint to, of course, what the players have had to endure this morning, of that all-too-familiar feeling now with this 12:30 start of trying to get pasta down you early at breakfast time for this pre-match meal. But it's a team with lofty ambitions, just one defeat in 22 here, an opportunity, of course, to go top of the Premier League here this afternoon. But Jürgen Klopp has had a little bit of juggling to do during the week. Diogo Jota returns from his ban, still no Curtis Jones, of course, as he serves a 3-match suspension from that game against Tottenham. And 3 changes he makes to that team for today. Let's confirm that in full for you then. Trent Alexander-Arnold is fine, by the way, and Ryan Gravenberch makes his first Premier League start in Liverpool colours here today. So Alisson in goal as always, aiming for his 4th Merseyside derby clean sheet in a row. It's not happened that since 1976. Ray Clements kept 9 on the bounce. He's kept 5 clean sheets in the last 8 against Everton, Alisson Becker. So safe hands in goal there. As I say, Trent Alexander-Arnold fine. There's a change at left-back that you were expecting. A man in Kostas Tsimikas who's been limited to 1 sub-appearance in the Premier League before today. Virgil van Dijk, who's got fond memories of this game here, scored on his debut against Everton nearly 5 years ago. And Ibrahima Konate restored to the starting lineup as well. Not started a Premier League game in 2 months for them. Gravenberch, Alexis McAllister and Dominic Szoboszlai make up the midfield. McAllister, by the way, has got 3 goals in his last 3 appearances against Everton. And it looks like Jota in the 9, back from his ban, a goal away from 50 in the Premier League, and also on the back of securing Portugal's place in the Euros now as well. Diaz is fine and plays. And Mo Salah, who could go level with Kenny Dalglish and Steven Gerrard with 104 Anfield goals today. A scorer or assister in the last 14 Premier League games for Liverpool. Bench is strong, as you would expect. Harvey Elliott, who scored twice for England's under-21s while he was away, captained them as well. Darwin Núñez, an injury time penalty and assist in Uruguay's first win over Brazil in 22 years midweek. Big substitute to be able to bring on that. Also Endo there. Kelleher's back in the squad. Jarrell Kwanzaa, Joe Gomez, Joel Matip, and also appearances on the bench for youngsters Callum Scanlon and James McConnell as well. Big incentive then for Liverpool. A win could take them top against the team in Everton, who've only had one win in their last 24 visits here.
Thank you very much indeed, Pete. Well, 4 changes then from the team that drew at the Amex a couple of weeks ago. But the big news, of course, is the absence of Andy Robertson and a big opportunity for Kostas Tsimikas. So sad for the Scotland captain to be out for so long.
Yeah, it is as well. And obviously, Charlie doing so well for Scotland. It's been a wonderful time, and he's been a good leader for them. So he's been coming in. He's had to change his role with Trent pushing in that inverted fullback. He's had to change his roles. He's not that marauding fullback that we've seen for us. So that takes a little bit of extra thought, but he will be a big miss. But Kostas has never really let us down. I think he's always been good. I think he'll have to calm down. Loves to tackle, Kostas. And this will be one of those games.
He's one of it there, the mind today. You know, if he goes in and dives in early and he puts himself under pressure with a booking, not played for a few weeks, so then it's difficult. You know, like I say, it's about, you know, calm head, and especially a derby match, because he does like a challenge, like Phil said. So he's one that'll need to calm down before he starts.
I think we actually spoke about him at the Leicester game in the Cup, about coming in and being a dependable deputy every time Andy Robertson needs a rest or is out for a short time. How does it change the mindset of a player when he knows that he doesn't have to look over his shoulder this time for a while, and that he is going to get a good run for once in the team?
Well, I think he's done really well when he's come in. So, and he knows his role. He's just signed a new contract, so he must be very happy here. But now he's getting a chance, and we've seen him when he's come in. And you would have to say, right, I can show people what I'm actually made of. Plays for Greece on a regular basis, so he's played at the highest level internationally. So it's not going to be anything. But it's still, he knows he's been understudy to Andy. But this is a wonderful time for him, a great opportunity to show people what he's capable of.
We talked about why Ibrahima Konate perhaps has come into the team. What about Ryan Gravenberch in the Liverpool midfield? Why do you think Jürgen Klopp has gone with him today?
Energy, legs, you know, quality on the ball, driving with the ball at midfield, something different to what Curtis is. Curtis is a nice technical player, can receive it in half-turn, but I think Gravenberch, he could take you up the pitch with the ball. And it's a good 3 in there, you know, good footballers as well. So it'll be interesting to see. But they'll have to match Everton's physicality. You know, Vanana getting in there, being aggressive. That 3 in there will have to have a little bit of bite and determination to go and dominate that midfield. If you win the midfield battle in any game mostly, but especially the derby match, gives you a great platform to go and win the match.
Because we were actually speaking before we came on air about the issues that maybe Alexis McAllister has had playing in that slightly deeper role that we saw against Brighton. As Charlie said, the likes of Anana and Decore will be snapping into him whenever he gets the ball today.
Well, if Alexis is sloppy, if he's not on it, they will make it. But particularly Decore, who has great energy levels, and that's why he plays in that role of like a number 10, because he can get back and help out, because he can get forward. He'll be snapping at Alexis's heels. If he's not quick with that ball, if he's not on the half term, more aware of him, I think it's been a difficult opening period for Alexis, playing in that role which he's not used to. He's been caught out quite a few occasions, and then he gets done at Brighton. I think he's got to be quicker with the ball. I think they'll have said that, but it's the manager putting trust in him by playing him again in this game. Probably only got back yesterday for this game, got a 12:30 kick-off, but I think what Charlie just said there, we've got great energy in there, and there's great footballing ability.
I know he's played the Premier League for a number of years, but when you come to a club like this, it's different. The expectation's different from playing for Brighton than it is for Liverpool Football Club. And he's not probably playing in his position that he'd been so successful at Brighton to get the move, and that's maybe took time to get used to. So now it's at a point in the season, Alexis needs to understand, this is where I'm going to play. I'm going to be the main hold midfielder. I'm going to be in there. I'm going to be, you know, like Phil said, not getting caught on the ball, ticking it over, and not thinking about too much in that forward area. waiting for the counter-attacks, you know, sitting in there, because you've seen, when he's got his quality, you've seen his goal, the supply he had a couple of weeks ago over the top against West Ham. The ball was unbelievable. If you want to get him into that forward position, brilliant. But at the moment, Liverpool don't have that actual holding midfielder, and he's doing the job. And yeah, at times it's been tough for him, but he'll learn from that. He's an experienced player. He's a very good footballer. So hopefully today could be a day for him to go and express himself and show in a big match that, you know, he's capable of playing in that position.
Might just have heard a very cordial Anfield welcome for Jordan Pickford, who has just come out to warm up at the far end of the ground. If you're watching us on social media, you're about to leave us. Let's just point you in the direction of our coverage throughout the course of the day here. Full audio commentary of the 243rd Merseyside derby comes at 12:30, and then Tom and Charlie will be back alongside me at 2:45, as well as interviews from the tunnel here at Anfield. Later on today, highlights are available of this game on LFC TV and on Go at 5:15, and then you'll be able to enjoy the match in full from midnight. Then tomorrow, inside Anfield on the club's YouTube and Facebook channels for all the behind-the-scenes action from here today. And if you do want to watch the rest of the coverage as we build up to kick-off here, information on how to do so is available on liverpoolfc.com/watch. Lots more to come between now and 12:30. We will hear from both managers and Harvey Elliott as we count down to kick-off for this Merseyside derby. We'll see you again in a few minutes' time.
Comes to Lala!